Hello, it's your Uncle Spurt here, and today we're having a good old squint at the fresh new TCL NXTPAPER 60 Ultra. A smartphone that boasts an almost paper-like 7.2-inch display that is crystal clear even in bright sunlight, and far better for your peepers than other mobile screens. With the added bonus that you've also got ridiculously good battery life. So let's check out the NXTPAPER 60 Ultra, and a massive thanks to TCL for sponsoring this video. Keep the old lights on at Expert Towers. Cheers! Now first, just have to point out this isn't the retail box. This is a specially crafted box for the unboxing experience. Oh, look at that, that's rather posh. Love it. And in that whopper of a box, we have, of course, one TCL NXTPAPER 60 Ultra, pre-wrapped in a rather splendid condom case that makes it feel almost like a leather-bound book. If you want to, you can actually pop the NXTPAPER out of the main cover, but keep that protective back case on. And TCL has also kindly bundled a stylus, which is highly satisfying to unsheathe. And when this isn't in use, you can just slip it away here on the edge of the phone case. And then you've got all the other less interesting stuff like a USB cable. Now, the TCL NXTPAPER 60 Ultra is a bit of a big boy to say the least. You've got a whopping great 7.2-inch display. It's practically tablet size, although thankfully the bezels surrounding it pretty skinny. Wee bit of Jimmy Hill action down below. And perhaps unsurprisingly, quite a heft at 227 grams. If we flip it around, you've got yourself a fiberglass back. Thankfully a pleasingly matte finish, so it shouldn't get all scuffed up. Now it's available in two different colours, Lunar White or this here Nebula Black. I'd have preferred the white model, bit easier to show off on video, but hey ho. There's also IP68 water and dust resistant, so we can get proper moist and proper mucky as well. Now to actually unlock this smartphone, you've got yourself an edge mounted fingerprint sensor. It's just built into that there power button. That's backed up by a bit of face unlock. But of course, one of the absolute highlights of the TCL NXTPAPER 60 Ultra is that almighty 7.2-inch NxtPaper Display. And this isn't just one of the biggest smartphone screens out there, it's one of the most eye-friendly displays as well, boasting no less than 7 core eye care technologies. Very fancy pants. And this is actually the 4th generation NXTPAPER panel, upgraded from previous models to further improve that readability. Definitely been working on this stuff for quite some time. And one of the best bits is the anti-glare design, which means that any pesky reflections are kicked right in the tits. I've got fierce studio lights beaming right off this display right now, and you can barely even tell. And this panel simulates natural light to help reduce eye fatigue if you're watching movies, gaming, or just doom scrolling well into the wee hours. You can see the difference when using a filter. Most smartphones don't use circular polarized light, whereas here on the TCL NXTPAPER 60 Ultra, there's no darkening of that display whatsoever using the same filter. Now if you jump on into the TCL NXTPAPER 60 Ultra's display settings, you'll see the usual eye comfort mode shenanigans. It's going to help to filter that blue light so it's even easier on your peepers. And this display is also flicker free in case you're sensitive to that sort of thing. You've got a full HD plus resolution, so reasonably crispy visuals, and the refresh rate maxes out at 120 Hz. And you've also got yourself a proper stereo speaker setup when you are enjoying a bit of gaming, bit of Netflix, whatever. But hey kiddies, that's not all, because over here on the right edge you've also got the NXTPAPER key. If we give that a quick flick, you'll see there are actually 3 different display modes. So let's jump on into the Max Ink mode, and one super funky transition later, we've now essentially got ourselves an e-ink style display, ideal for reading books or documents or anything that's particularly text heavy. In fact, TCL has actually slapped on a preloaded library of 200 books for you to enjoy. Although admittedly only approximately 40 of these are actually in English, but you got enough stuff on here to keep you going for several summer holidays. The complete Franz Kafka, if you want to dive into those, bit of Sid Arthur. The autobiography of my man Benny F. Or of course alternatively you can just add your own books and get stuck into them wherever you roam. And this mode not only reduces eye strain even further, it also massively boosts the battery life. As you can see there, we've got an estimated 55 hours over 2 days of use before this thing will need plugging in again. So just like a Kindle or another ebook reader, you can get absolutely ruddy tons of reading in before you'll need to worry about charging it back up. And as you can see, you can still use most of your apps in this mode as well. Netflix wasn't too keen on actually playing any movies, but I did manage to get some TV shows on the go. And also, when you flick the NxtPaper 60 Ultra onto that max ink mode, notifications will be silenced for all but your most essential apps. So you can basically tell the entire world to do one, enjoy a well-deserved bit of peace and quiet. Or alternatively, you can also flick onto color paper mode at any point. Again, with the obligatory funky transition. And this is kind of a comfortable halfway house if you enjoy reading graphic novels or comics with some colours still retained, but again with that pleasing, easy on the eye experience. And of course you can scribble notes or sketch using the SGS certified Stylus, which is beautifully latency free. And of course sketching or writing on that screen feels impressively natural thanks to the slightly textured surface. This thing can even decipher my god-awful handwriting, which is a bloody miracle frankly. And on the software side, you've got Android 15 slapped on the NxtPaper 60 Ultra. Hopefully that'll get an update to Android 16 soon, with TCL's own UI slapped on top. And I believe it is just a couple of years of OS updates and security patching that you are guaranteed here with the NxtPaper. You got a bunch of bonus features chucked on here, including the usual AI shenanigans. It's going to help you craft an email, translate a bunch of text, etc. And TCL has rather generously chucked 512 gigs of storage space into the NxtPaper 60 Ultra, though sadly no longer expandable via micro SD, unlike previous generations. And this nifty wee mobile is powered by MediaTek's Dimensity 7400 chipset backed by 12 gigs of RAM. So everyday running certainly smooth enough, and if you are a gamer you can play more optimized titles like Call of Duty and PUBG with a respectable frame rate. You got yourself a 5200 mAh capacity battery, so even without turning on the max ink mode, etc., you'll get all day play out of this thing, hours and hours of screen on time no matter what you're up to. But then of course flick on that max ink mode and you'll get literally days of use out of a single charge. And when you do need to top it back up again, 33 watt wired charging, so not the nippiest, and there is no wireless charging support. Of course, you do have various power modes stuffed on here, including a super saving mode if you're down to the dregs, and battery health features too. Alright kiddies, let's finish up this tour of the TCL NXTPAPER 60 Ultra with a squint at the literally sparkly camera tech. And what you've got slapped on here is a 50 megapixel main shooter backed by a basic 8 megapixel ultra wide angle snapper. But the big new addition for this generation of NxtPaper smartphone is the 50 meg telephoto shooter, offering up a 3x optical zoom. So it's a highly flexible setup for snapping your family, your holidays, whatever you're getting up to. And of course, as usual, you've got loads of bonus camera modes, including a dedicated pro mode where you can fiddle around with the ISO levels, shutter speed, EV levels, etc. And TCL will apparently be updating the camera experience with the likes of the Muse film feature in the near future. And using the TCL NXTPAPER 60 Ultra, you can also record up to 4K resolution footage if you're a bit of a home movie fiend. While around front you've got yourself a 32 megapixel selfie shooter which can record you at up to 2K resolution. And there you have it, my lovelies. That in a delicious wee nutshell is the fresh new TCL NXTPAPER 60 Ultra. Now, massive thanks again to TCL for sponsoring this video, keeping the old lights on at Techspert Towers. Be great to hear your thoughts on this eye-pleasing wee banger down in the comments below. Please do bug subscribe, ding that notifications bell, and have yourselves a ruddy, wonderful rest of the week. Cheers, everybody. Love you all.